Anthony Casey here from the Irish Freedom Party, and I'm talking to Joseph here.
Yeah, yeah.
Joseph and myself are in Floods Cross today. We're both on the same Kildare hold the line. And tell me, Joseph, are you local resident around here?
No, I'm from Dublin, but I do hold the line in Newbridge, which is only about 3 miles from here on a Saturday. So we do highlight lots of different issues. Over the last four and a half years, there have been one thing after another, as well as the plantation, the COVID injections, and all of the deaths that have occurred from that, and the so-called, the speech censorship laws.
Hate speech.
Yeah.
So you've been going around the country, kind of going to a few different places around Kildare, Carlow, Dublin.
Yeah, that's true.
And this site here, I can see they're all gathering further down, but this site here in particular, it seems to be quite big. It's striking looking. Some people say, comparing it to kind of an army barracks, a makeshift.
Yeah. Well, if you see the aerial shots of it, it really does look like an army barracks. There, I don't know, could be 80 or 90 different huts, and then the two very large marquees. It really does. It's an army operation. I think all of these, what I call plantation centres, all around the country, it is more than anything else. It's like an army operation. They've thought about this for years, long before it ever happened, and they planned out where they would go, and they're stuck for space now, so they can only put them in these army type barracks. But it's really frightening.
Yeah,
what they've done. It is.
I appreciate you speaking.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Anthony. That's great.
I'm here with Keith in Floods Cross. And Keith, are you a local man to this area?
Yeah, Kildare man, yeah.
And what, have you been here a few times on this site?
Yeah, I've been here all along, yeah.
Yeah. And what have you seen in the last, how long is this going on? About a year?
A little over a year here, yeah. Like, it's not just here as well, there's other places. We've seen that it's getting a lot more dangerous around here now.
You have seen that, yeah?
Yeah, it has. There's a lot of people hanging around. We've seen it over in Salins there a while ago. There was people trespassing, breaking into property. There's no security on the door. We're discovering as well there's a lot of people here that aren't what they claim to be.
Right.
We have the evidence ourselves. I spoke to a guy from Georgia who told me that he flew from Northern Ireland into Dublin and lost his passport.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's happening now a lot. It's very often.
They're going by, and I seen a silver or a white Jeep flow by there a second ago. That's Mullins. They have a hand in some of this. I've heard already previously.
Yeah, I'm not really sure on Mullins' position on this now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know they have the yard down there.
Maybe he'd speak to me if he passes by again.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But you reckon crime is certainly on a rise here?
It is on a rise here. Yeah, like they're trying to say that there's no connection between the presence of these illegal economic migrants is the only way of calling them. And they're trying to say that there's no connection between them. But we seen in Dublin the other day where a man was stabbed, a homeless man stabbed on the street for the little few coppers that he had. You know, we've seen attempted child abductions. We've seen children stabbed. We've seen another attack on the bus with one of those children on it.
Yeah.
As if those children weren't traumatized enough.
I think it's the shocking the level of compliance from the state media.
Yeah.
That they're not even showing anyone.
No, the media still want to refer to them as Ukrainians. Like, no one ever really had an issue with Ukrainians coming in here fleeing war or genuine refugees. Like, we're not monsters. You know, we've always been welcoming. We're known as the land of 1,000 welcomes.
And I guess the fact is that we've taken more than most EU countries.
Yeah, we may be a welcoming country, but we're not doormats. Yeah. You know, to wipe your feet on the way in. Yeah. And that's what's happening. Yeah. You know, our government has completely neglected us, and are in favour of them. You see, the guards are going around now, and they're protecting them in every area. They're protecting them going into areas, and they're not protecting us. And if we rise up against it, we get pepper sprayed and beaten and battered. And it is, by definition, acts of terrorism.
Yeah, it's tyranny as well.
It's
a tyrannical state.
Yes.
And they're doing this by force.
By force, and
You know,
we don't consent to it.
Yeah.
We always had policing by consent in this country. This is paramilitary style policing we have in this country.
Yeah. Especially when the polls say 85% of people are afraid of mass immigration, uncontrolled, reckless immigration.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between immigration in the past and any country across Europe. We've always been good and welcoming to.
The government keeps referring to, you know, immigration is positive and we need doctors and nurses. Yeah, immigration is positive and we need doctors and nurses, but we're not getting doctors and nurses.
No.
We're not getting them.
No.
We're getting the opposite.
We're getting 100 men in a camp altogether.
What we're getting is a strain on doctors and nurses.
Yes.
That's what we're getting. And a
hospitals,
strain on hospitals and everything else that is already struggling. We already had a healthcare here that was on the brink of snapping, and it's just gone now, like.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that, Keith. Fair play to you. Thanks for saying it. How are you doing, everyone? I'm here with Anne, and Anne is a local of Kildare.
Yeah.
And has been here. It sounds like you've been here from kind of the start.
Well, it was 90% closed, the road. Oh no, the road was closed since November last year, and then it was 90% done in here. But we've been here since January, so yeah.
Do you know any of the latest of what's happening here, Anne? Is there much movement of people coming in and out?
Yeah, a lot.
There is a lot.
Yeah, they've made a footpath up with Merlin's, so they're in off the road, so they're not walking on the road.
Okay.
If you want to check it out later.
Yeah, I will. Because I had been up here previously, and the security guard took offence to me pulling in. There's another entrance down the way there, and he came out and cursed and effed and blinded, and there was a contractor there, an Irish contractor, and really he said to me, you know, this is our only jobs to do, you know, and to me they're traders, they're facilitators to what's going on.
One actually lives in my housing estate.
Does he?
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't get a word.
He gave abuse to us all as well. So.
Did he? Yeah. So he was vocal towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did a list. I don't know if you've seen the video this week. People are messaging me, all the contractors who are facilitating this plantation of Ireland. They're going to name them. And for the builders who don't want any part of it, they're buying a sticker, just an Aaron Gabra sticker, to try and deter people from doing this, because they are traders and they won't see the damage they're doing until a year or two. And this place here in particular, I think, is so big and scary looking.
It is. It was scary when we seen it, like, you know, because we had the road closed, the main road down here closed for months.
Yeah.
And we didn't see it until it was literally 90% finished. So, and we had blocked up at the main gate and James's gate, we called it, because a fella came from, I can't remember where he was from, but he came from outside of Kildare to support, and he stayed a good few nights here. So we called it James's gate.
Did you?
Yeah.
And you was a hole up here for a little while as well.
We were blocking there at the beginning. We blocked for about 2 days, and they got an injunction against few people, named few people from the Facebook page, and they scared a lot of people away from the place to protest and stand their ground here as well. So yeah.
What's one of your major concerns of all these places going up around Ireland?
Scary. Like, we don't know where the background, nothing of them. Like,
safety concern.
Yeah, safety for my children, everybody in the community. They're going in back gardens and everything. Robbing, yeah, so it is. It's scary.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you.
Well done. I have Cleona here from Clondalkin at the corner to give her support, and you're here supporting because you're afraid of your own local area in Clondalkin as well. Is there something going on there at the moment?
Yeah, there's the SIAC building, also known as Dulcan House.
Dulcan House,
and there's a lot of unvetted men in there.
Already in?
Yeah, there's been protests in Clondalkin since about November 2022.
Okay.
We're out there all the time, but they're also in the IPAs hotel further up and the Red Cow.
Yeah,
so
and I know they're in Liffey Valley Hotel as well.
Yes. And it's not that anyone in Clondalkin has a problem with non-nationals or anything like this, you know, as people who are against what the government is doing are being branded far right and racist and everything, which is boring at this stage. But it's just, we're worried. I mean, my mum is just a stone throw from SIAC, and all you have to do is walk up and down the Monastery Road and you can see, like,
exactly
literally, oh yeah.
That's bizarre to me, how all you have to do is really walk outside in some of these areas, and people are still so blind to it. You know, they're so a lot of people are just swallowing this narrative that RT put out.
Yes.
But yes, all you have to do is open your eyes, you know.
And you see, that's what I don't understand, and it kind of frustrates me, because the likes of Clondalkin, which is, you know, a nice small village, big enough actually, it's a big enough village, but you'd always know the locals, or you'd know the faces. So for anyone to deny what's going on, you know, it's just
bizarre.
it's so frustrating. And then for the likes of us who were out protesting or trying to raise awareness about it, then to be called the names we're called and everything, it's just shocking. But how anyone, and I just don't understand how anyone can agree with what's going on. Like, not only in Kildare, but in the country, this plantation, this invasion, you know, that's assisted invasion,
absolutely,
you know, which is just, it's,
Well, you look even at was it Dundrum and Tipperary this week, where I think the citizens there are only 290 Irish residents, and they're trying to move in 300 now. Bizarre. You know, how does that make sense in any regard?
It doesn't. But it doesn't, and what they're doing doesn't make sense. And
I think it's more than just lining their own pockets. I think there's definitely a narrative and agenda here.
They're under instructions.
They're under instructions.
It's quite obvious at this stage.
Absolutely. I ran in a tie, or South Kildare, for the Irish Freedom Party. And someone messaged me and said, my family, my parents and grandparents won't go outside their house on the weekends because of people coming down from Birth House. And while I stood there with a coffee, I could see back and forth between locals and these people on the street. So how people are denying that these things exist is beyond me.
But there's no denying it anymore.
No,
there isn't. But do you know what? In Clondalkin alone, the amount of like small businesses that have closed and reopened by non-nationals. There's another now shop on a corner, and it's a Turkish kebab place or some, and they're sitting outside. They're all non-nationals. I'm not saying they can't do that, but eventually that is going to be intimidating to the people in Clondalkin.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
So it's just, and there's other shops further down, and they're all non-national. So how come Irish businesses are closing? And where are these people getting the money to open up businesses?
There is word that there is an Islamic grant given to some of these people, you know, and I think it's more than just word at this stage. There is documents to say that. But, you know, the problem is as well, and everyone's saying, you know, I'm not against foreign people, or people aren't. Like, people think that everyone's racist now for some reason, and people are concerned. Like, some of the countries they're coming for aren't safe. You wouldn't go there on your holidays. You know, Albania, Algeria, scary places. And when you bundle that amount of people from them areas together in one place, beside schools, when you
in
close
hotels,
down, and you're not too far away from Cherry Orchard, where they closed a nursing home down.
I know. I was over at there.
All women on strike there, and all hunger strike. Disgraceful.
But I also think too, this racist, you know, this bull that they're pushing all the time through the mainstream media, like making out that people that attend these protests are thugs. You know, it's boring at this stage. I'm not a racist or a xenophobic. I know lots of non-national people. They're my friends.
Of course,
And I don't care what colour your skin is. But do I want military-age men who are unvetted? We know they are at this stage. They can be without the passport. Do I want them living in my area? No. Do I want them in the country? No.
And the shocking thing is that they're coming in at a massive rate. Very fast.
In the darkness of night.
In the darkness of night. People know exactly. With Gardaí, with riot shields protecting them. And that's another thing. Like, you know, the way the guards are handling this situation is it's shocking. It's actually heartbreaking to see the way they're treating the Irish people. Drew Harrison, they're going in, and if you say anything about it, you'll get attacked by us with no badges on.
Well, I've been at protests where women have been pushed, shoved to the ground. Do you know what I mean? And I've been at protests where Irish people haven't really been doing anything to be arrested, and they've been arrested by the public order unit.
It's scary.
You know, it's really scary.
Well, fair play to you for coming down.
Okay.
Appreciate that, Leona.
Thanks
very much.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm here with Tom McDonnell.
How are you doing? How are things?
Tom is here in support on Floods Cross. Because, well, basically you can see a lot of people here are very concerned, and they've been here for the last year. Kildare says no groups have been here. Hold the Line groups have been here. Yourself, you've been here a few times. And there is word of, what did you reckon, Tom? 350 maybe?
We're rumoured there's 350 Ukrainian. That's the figure we've been given from the council. 350 Ukrainian in here, you know, fleeing war.
And did they say that their families coming in, or what is their word they're going with?
They told us there'd be families, and that there'd be Ukrainian families there are a few more. And the guy in the council told me now was a senior guy.
Yeah.
You know, he gave us an induction and all that. So he assured me, because I asked him that question, you know, straight up, what's the plan for Floods Cross? And he says, Tom, there'll be 2 of the centres in the country. There's one down south a bit somewhere, and there's this one here.
Yeah.
And
2 of these centres. That's what he
there's
reckons.
2 of these centres, and they'll be Ukrainian only. That's what he told me. Yeah.
Okay. So they're saying this is earmarked for Ukrainian families.
Only, yeah.
Only 350 of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Well,
people
there's 350 at the minute, and then it'll fill up. You know.
It'll fill up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are very sceptical about that. That
Yeah.
it might not be Ukrainian men.
Well, this is always the fear, you know.
Yeah.
It's always the fear. It's been the fear from the start. No one has a big problem with the Ukrainians, you know, but we have a big problem with the Trojan horse, you know,
Yeah.
where you say you bring Ukrainians, and then we find that they're men from different cultures here, you know.
At the dead of night in a bus.
Yeah.
And they're in before you know it.
Yeah. So, and they're all men, and they're military age men, and that.
Yeah.
That's the big fear.
There's a lot of women who are here, I'm saying women, men and women, who are very concerned about the likes of that. They reckon that crime has already gone up from other places around the city, and you're seeing this as a woman from Dawkin saying the same. I was in Kilkenny last week, and they're saying the same. The people are genuinely very concerned.
They're very concerned. See, this is a big problem, you know, and media are portraying that the people are against people coming here from different. No one has a problem. People coming from different cultures. We all travel. The Irish travel all around the world. The Ukrainian people are here, and they're fleeing war. So in general, with the protests around the country, because I've been out a lot, people don't have a problem with the Ukrainians. But the Ukrainians have been used as a Trojan horse.
Yes, of
They
course.
say, well, what's it for Ukrainians? And then all of a sudden it changes. But that's what we've been assured in the council. But I take the man's word, you know.
Yeah.
I take it, he seems to be an honourable guy, you know.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't cross him till we see different, you know.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't question him. I think he's straight up, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. And I have seen, well, I guess, you know, Orla here is from Carlow, South in Kildare as well. A lot of people are worried in Athy, and this racist thing gets thrown at you an awful lot. If you stand up to, you know, if you stand up to 2 concerns in the community.
If you talk about climate change, if you talk about anything, any subject, military age men coming to a town, if you talk about the girls or concerns, like we have incidents there in the park in Newbridge, only 3 weeks ago.
That's right.
Where 2 lads of African
descent,
were in the trees drinking cans, and 3 little laddies on bikes were cycling around, and the next thing they were drawn up to them, and the young laddies were innocent, they didn't know, and they were basically wanking in the trees, you know.
Yeah. See, the thing is that people are seeing this, you know.
This is not in our culture. It's like it's so, but this seems to be in their culture. You know, this is the big problem. There's a big cultural difference, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things they do in their culture and the way they stayed around. Them 2 African men stayed around that night and didn't run from the guards. They waited till the guards came there, and they didn't even know they'd done something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like if that was an Irish person, an English person, or a European person, they'd be gone. Like,
this is a narrative we've seen. We've seen videos. We've heard people come out and say, I've seen this and very concerned about this, and RT won't give it a second of their time, and you're labelled as a far-right racist or conspiracy theorist by talking out against the crime. That we're at a 10-year high crime rate at the moment in Ireland. Ireland doesn't equate crime to ethnicity, but every other European country does. And given that we have taken in more than any other European country, it's only logical to see that our crime is a direct result from what we're seeing and from what we're being shown to this. And I think it's a lovely way to sidestep the issue. Well, why don't we equate crime with ethnicity? Maybe we'd get some answers fairly quickly if we did. Maybe we should start shouting down the doll for that.
Well, this is the problem. Like, the guards won't give you any information. And we notice in the council now, they're setting up new bodies now where you can't directly. I tried to bring a motion to council with the guys like they tell you what motions. I'm new to this.
Yeah.
I only came in June. It was about June 20th before I got in. So I had to alert myself then there's motions. You bring the motions up, then you get 4 minutes to speak about the motion. And so I wanted to bring up crime and oh no, you can't bring up that because the Garda is dealing with that, and they'll meet people delegates from the council and that are councillors, and they'll be picked from.
Yeah.
There'll be 7 picked from the council, and but that's all done through Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, because
so it's the illusion of democracy.
It's an illusion of democracy, because if I want to get on that board and speak to the super about what's going on and ask them the straight up, the hard questions, I can't, because the council in Kildare is controlled by 23 or 24, which are made up of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, right? There's 40 in the council. I think 7 Social Democrats, 3 independents or whatever, but so many Labour. But the bulk is controlled by Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. So they pick all the bodies on, all the main meeting parts, all the discussions, they dictate it. So now when they're a policing board, they'll be dictating who goes on that.
So we need these people out to stop this from happening.
Of course.
You know, the general is looming.
It's what they keep coming up with systems to protect themselves. Because I need to go straight to the guards. I want to speak to the super for a long time. And I held meetings, and it's always the same. We'll speak to the council, and when you're elected, Tom, we'll speak to you then. And then I go into the council and I say, I want to speak to the super. Oh, well, Tom, that's going to be dealt with. There's a body there in place, and it's going to be set up, and you know, so it's pushing you aside.
Yeah.
It's as you say, it's a form of democracy, but it's not democracy.
Yeah, it's an illusion.
It's an illusion of democracy, because we have no power.
No.
We've no power. We can voice there about like I'm bringing up a swimming pool. Like I'm in Newbridge 30 years. No swimming pool in the town. There's 5 there's 5 in Naas, you know.
Yeah.
And you try to get that done. Will they go with you then? Will they go with you? But I think I might have to go outside for funding.
Really?
You know.
Okay, yeah.
So, but I will get it.
Well, look,
I will get it built.
I think congratulate you on getting into the office there in June.
Thank you.
It was great, and fair play to you for standing up to the stick. I see you have the tricolour in your hand today, and you got a lot of jip over that. And I think it's amazing that that has become a symbol by the government or the mainstream as, I don't know, a hatred of, they're trying to tear down our own flag.
Yeah, well, what they're trying to do
Demonise
is they're trying to get rid of nationalism.
Yes.
This is what it is. See, under Sinn Féin, you have what we all thought, oh, great nationalists, and people are in the illusion out there that Sinn Féin are nationalists. They're anything but nationalists. They're communists, and they're multicultural. They're not for us. They're globalists. They're not for us at all. You know, we're pure nationalists. We'll die with that flag.
Yes.
I don't care what happens. You know, down the road, we can see this going very sour. This will go sour.
Yeah.
But I be laying my life on them. I will be going the whole way.
Yeah.
I know this country is unreal, and we're not going to let it go.
No, I think they made a mistake by using us as a pilot country. They didn't realise that the passion for the Irish, the history we have, how many people stand up and the spirit of the Irish is still alive today. You know, we're not that many years removed from the centenary in 2016. And I think that's why we have a good fighting chance to push these aside and say, not in Ireland. Now, it's happening at a fast rate, but there's plenty of people here in support and across the countries. And I appreciate you speaking, Tom.
Yeah, but the big thing, thank you very much. The big thing we need is, I figured there's about 15 in the Dáil of independents that won't go with the main parties. That's minimum figure. So we need 65 or so, or 70 of independents, people like myself that will deal with Irish issues, protect our borders, have none of this multiculturalism. You know what I mean? We'll have people coming here. If we need doctors, we need nurses, we need dentists, no problem. And like my doctor is Dr. Healy. He's actually an independent Councillor Fiona McLaughlin Healy. Yeah, and she stepped away. She stepped away from politics because she could get nowhere. Yeah, and she was brilliant. She topped the poll. She got in the last election, the council. She topped the poll. She got 2,300.
Wow, that's amazing.
And she had to. And then, anyways, I got Dr. Healy's away, and there was a doctor there from Kerala in India. Beautiful man. You know, no problem. My wife works with Indian girls in the nursing home. She's a nurse, and there's no issues with them, you know.
Of course, yeah.
And see, the big thing is, you know, you don't talking about religion, but they're Christians, and we've no problem with Christians too. See, that's
the Sharia law is worrying, and
this is a big worry. This is my massive worry. Down the road, We go into this, you see what's happening in Britain.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
shocking.
Yeah.
And they're running the towns.
Yeah.
We see gang rapes. We see this.
See, they have no respect for women or children.
No.
In their culture.
And the woke culture, like the lefties, they're the first that's going to be harmed.
Yeah.
So when these come in here and they take over everything, and they get Sharia law, who's going to suffer? The lefties, the gays that we protect.
Yeah.
We protect gays. We speak up for them. We don't have anyone speaking against them.
I think there's a number of people out there, and there's groups of people who are just, they swallow anything they're taking. Any bit of propaganda, they'll run with it. And you see that with Trinity College students and other people around the country who are just being, you see the opposition marches. I don't even know if they believe in what they're standing there for. They have all different flags. And
no, see what I was watching a video there, how it's done in Trinity College, and they sort of said they're far right. They sort of, people that are not switched on. If you're only watching mainstream media, we go back to media all the time.
Yeah.
They're watching that narrative all the time that these people are harmful. We're pure nationalists, and we're not anywhere harmful at all. But still, they build this
emergency law.
They build this up, and they sort of indoctrinate them in the universities to this narrative of there's a harmful far right faction there. It doesn't exist in Ireland, because I would not stand with a far right person. If someone was far right or racist, I'd give them a clip in the lug and tell them go away, because I'm not racist. I played football in England with black lads from Nigeria, lads from India, and great crack.
But it's a different thing altogether. They're using that kind of phrase, far right and racist. It's a tired terminology that they can obviously see isn't working anymore. But more people are waking up to it. I think you're right in terms of people, and like I'm going to run for the Irish Freedom Party in the general election for my constituency, and these are people running who are genuine concerned citizens who aren't involved with politics beforehand, who just want to help their community and get rid of people who are bringing in these reckless bills and pacts that are no longer in favour, and they're no longer respecting or speaking for the Irish people, representing them.
They're not. And like you go to Fine Gael, and my townie there, I'm Mayo man originally, and you had Inda Kinney. He kicked this off.
Yeah.
He told us out in 2012, himself and Noonan.
Yeah.
This was done, they emptied our coffers through the recession, the last recession, right? So then they went in and they came here and they told us that they'd fill the banks with money. Yeah. So they got Kinney, so he signed up to that deal. Yeah. What did Kinney do? Disappeared. Gave it to Varadkar. Yeah. What does Varadkar do now? Pass the baton to this Harris guy. Yeah. And this Harris guy is, he never studied in university. He has no qualification. Now, and I'm saying I'm a builder myself. But this guy is running the country. He has no qualifications.
Yeah.
He worked in one of the Fitzgerald's offices, picking up the papers and making the tea. And now he's running the country.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
By force, by the looks of things.
Yeah. So they just want someone to keep it on. Like Boris Johnson in England, he kept the crack going. Like, there's no need for that war in Ukraine whatsoever. That should be stopped immediately. And now this is what they're afraid, because I heard Zelensky saying today or yesterday that they'll be stopping the war. They want to, because they know Trump is going to get in.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump's not going to entertain any of this rubbish.
Because America and Biden had their hand in all of that. But,
but
apart from that, look, I appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Han.
And well done for speaking. Fair
Thank
play.
you very much.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, cheers.